So welcome. Today we're going to do a shorter but relatively warming practice. I've been taking classes online because everything is online now. And there's one studio in New York that I like quite a bit called Laughing Lotus, and they are particularly inspired by the whirling dervishes. I don't know if you've ever heard of the whirling dervishes. It's a sect of Sufism where they just spin, and it's not yoga. They just stand and they spin and spin and spin and spin. They wear these beautiful skirts that spin around with them, and they spin themselves into a state of ecstasy. And it's kind of a meditation to just do this movement that is completely repetitive, and it's supposed to mimic the orbiting of the planets. And so this yoga studio develops classes that involve a lot of turning to the front of your mat, to the back of your mat, to the front of the mat, to the back of your mat. So we're going to do that today, and it can be a little bit disorienting at first. You have to listen perhaps more carefully than you might otherwise do. But if we get into the rhythm of it, we start to feel this kind of circular pattern, which brings us into a feeling of meditation. And I think it's just a really nice way to acknowledge that life is circular rather than linear. Like as humans, we get into this sort of straight line pattern, but everything is actually a circle. The rhythm of our breath, the rhythm of our days, the circling of planets or seasons, and everywhere that we've been is actually somewhere that we've been before. We're always coming around to arrive back home. So maybe that's the feeling we can find. We'll start cross-legged and just for a few moments be in a still shape to observe how that feels to sit in stillness. And let your hips settle into the floor, grow up nice and tall through your spine. You can spread your shoulders wide away from your ears. Feel the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. And then beginning to pay attention to your breathing. And notice the path of the breath as it moves in at the tip of the nose, along the throat, filling the chest, filling the belly, filling the bowl of the pelvis. And then exhaling to empty the belly, empty the chest, feeling the breath in the throat, the nose, back into space. And then again, following the next breath back in. And if we pay careful attention to the breathing, we can start to see that the breath is not just a sort of up and down motion, but rather a four-part circling. So we feel the inhale as it rises in the body. And then there's a moment at the top of the inhale where we sit with that fullness of the breath in, a natural pause. And then we have the exhale itself, emptying the body. A moment at the bottom of the exhale where we sit with that feeling of emptying out. And then we take the next breath in. So maybe you can start to observe each of those separate parts which loop into each other over and over and over again. And if Ujjayi breath is part of your practice, you can find that here. So we're breathing specifically along the back of the throat, inviting sound into the breathing. And then we'll just start to find some circling in the shoulders. So you can bring your hands to the tops of your thighs with the palms facing down. As you inhale, you can roll your shoulders forward and up towards your ears. Exhaling to slide the shoulders down and back. Maybe keeping your eyes closed here. Inhaling and forward and up, the shoulder blades gliding outwards across the back. And as you exhale to bring the shoulders back and down, the collarbones spread wide across the chest. Just keep going a few more times, your own fluid motion. And seeing if you can settle into that feeling of circling around and around. Each movement repeating itself, and yet each time we go around, perhaps we've found some small change, some extra little bit of space, some new way of knowing our bodies, so that although we're doing the same thing, perhaps each circling feels a little bit different. And we'll switch directions. So you can first turn your palms to face up, and now as you inhale, bringing your shoulders back and up towards the ears, and exhaling to melt the shoulders forward and down. Inhale, bring space into the chest, the collarbone spread wide. exhaling into a wide upper back. And keep going again with your own smooth pattern of breathing. Maybe the eyes closed, so we're really focused on how this feels, not so worried about any visual information. And feel how the arm bone moves in the shoulder socket, but then also how the whole shoulder girdle responds to this movement. And we can find more fluidity in all of those bone structures. Collarbones, the shoulder blades, the way that they sit on the ribs. And then we'll just bring the shoulders back to a neutral position, so heads of the shoulders nice and wide away from your ears. As you inhale here, you can reach your arms up alongside your ears, and then we'll exhale to turn to the right. So you're bringing your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind you. Inhale here to grow up nice and tall, lifting the chest. Exhaling to turn the chest a little bit more towards the right. Keep your left hand where it is. We'll inhale to reach the right arm up alongside your right ear, so you're leaning into a side bend. And then as you exhale, round the back, bring your right hand down to your left knee, let the head drop heavy. Inhale, both arms reaching up alongside your ears, full stretch. Exhale, turning to the left, so right hand to your left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale here to grow up nice and tall. And then exhale to turn a little bit more to the left. Inhale, the left arm reaching up alongside your left ear, stretching into the side bend over towards the right. Exhaling the left hand down to your right knee, so the arms cross, the spine rounds, the head heavy. Inhale to reach the arms up alongside your ears. Exhale to turn again to the right. Inhale here to grow tall. Exhale to turn a little bit more. And inhale, the right arm up alongside the right ear, stretching over to the left, nice long side bend. Exhale, crossing the arms, right hand to your left knee, head nice and heavy. Inhale, the arms up alongside your ears, stretch, keeping the shoulders soft. Exhaling to turn to the left. Inhale here to grow tall. And exhale to turn a little bit deeper. And inhale, left arm up alongside the left ear, full stretch over towards the right. And exhaling once more to round the back, left hand to your right knee. And we'll inhale, the arms up alongside the ears, good full stretch. And now as you exhale, you can bring your hands towards the floor. We'll find the way to all fours. Just arriving however you like to get there. We'll bring the knees under the hips, the wrists aligning under the shoulders, fingers spread comfortably wide. Moving through a few rounds of cat and cow. As you inhale, you lengthen the belly, lifting the sits bones, lifting the chest. Exhaling to round the back, pressing the mat away from you, hugging your belly in, let the head drop heavy. And inhale again to find length across the front body, seeing if you can pull your heart forward through your arms. You might kind of drag your hands against the mat towards you. Exhaling to round, hugging in through the lowest part of your belly, letting the head soften down. And one more time, inhaling to come into this cow shape. Maybe you can kind of press your knees outwards to spread the sits bones wide, feel your breath all the way into the base of your pelvis. And exhaling, emptying that breath out as the low belly scoops in, puffing up through the back body, let the head drop heavy. And inhale to come back to a neutral shape. We'll reach the right arm forward alongside the right ear, stretch the left leg back parallel to the floor. Look for a little bit of lift through the inner line of your left leg. And as you exhale, you can round into center, elbow knee towards each other, hugging in through the low belly. Inhale to reach out, nice long line. Exhale again to squeeze in towards center, lifting through the deeper core to help pull that left thigh up towards you. Inhale, nice long reach out away from center. And one more time, exhaling to curl in, rounding through the back, press strongly down through your left hand. Inhale to reach out, nice long line. And we'll exhale to bring the sole of the left foot up, so we're bending the left knee. See if you can lift that left thigh a little bit higher, and then take your right hand back and look for the left foot. If you can't find the foot, you can always bring the right hand to the floor and just actively lift that left leg in space. If we're finding the right hand to the left foot, we're pushing the foot into the hand, lifting the left thigh up nice and high, and then reaching the heart forward, lifting the heart, lifting the gaze, and completing a nice long back bend shape here. And really strongly pressing down through that left hand. Feel how your left shoulder blade can move wide on the back, so there's support through the shoulder for your balance, for your body weight. And then we'll exhale to release the right hand, the left knee back to the floor, and switching sides. As you inhale, you can reach your left arm forward, take the right leg back, nice long reach back through your right ball of the foot. And as you exhale, curling into center, rounding through the back, hugging in through the belly. Inhale to reach out nice and long.
Exhale to round back into center, low belly scoops in, lifting your right thigh. Inhale, reaching out, long stretch. And once more, exhaling to curl into your own center. And we'll inhale to reach out long. And exhale, the sole of the right foot coming up, so we're bending the right knee. And then again, seeing if we can reach with the left hand for the right foot. If you can't reach the foot, you can just keep that leg lifting in space with both hands to the floor. Otherwise, we're pushing the right foot into the left hand, lifting the right thigh, drawing the heart forward, lifting the chest, lifting your gaze, and making sure we're keeping length in the center body here. So even though we're stretching out through the top layers of the belly, there's this tiny little bit of hug in the deepest area of the core that helps us to push the ribs forward away from the hips so there's space in the low back. And then we'll exhale to release the left hand, the right knee down to the floor. And from here, you can tuck your toes under, take your hips up and back, moving into downward dog. And we'll just take a moment to get comfy in this downward dog. Alternately bend the knees, rock the hips, anything that you like here. With your next inhale, reach the right leg up and back, so lifting through the inner right thigh. Exhale to pull the right knee into the chest. Step your right foot forward towards your hands. We'll bring the left knee down to the mat. Inhale to come up into a low lunge. You can let the shoulders soften, let the hips sink. Draw in through your low belly so you can lift your ribs away from your hips. A nice long space in the front of your left hip crease. Good. From here, we're going to spin the left lower leg back so that it's parallel to the short edge of your mat. So the hips are starting to turn to the long edge of your mat on your left side. And then we're going to straighten out the right leg, bring the right hand down to the top of the right leg, and reach your left arm alongside your left ear. The right foot is flexed here. So this is called gate pose. Seeing if you can roll your left side ribs open, stretch long through your left side body. Look again for that little bit of hug in your low belly that supports the low spine. Good, and then we'll inhale to come up. Both arms could reach towards the ceiling. Root the sole of your right foot so your toes can point to the left edge of your mat. And then bring your left hand down kind of in line with your left knee towards the back of your mat, and reach your right arm alongside your right ear. So now it's a side plank variation. Lots of support from that left leg. And gripping the floor here with your left finger pads, nice long reach out through your right fingers, space in the right side body. We're going to hug in through the low belly for stability, and now slowly start to pick up your right leg. And see if you can find a long stretch back through the ball of the right foot. In order to hold your balance here, keep that right leg active. So you might feel like you want to push the right leg down, but it doesn't actually move. Good. Then we're going to bend the right knee and see if you can reach now with your right hand to find the top of your right foot. You could push the foot a little bit into the hand. See if you can send your right hip a little bit away from the heel so that we're getting more space in the right hip crease across the top of the right thigh. Maybe you can find some length in your belly here. Good, and then we'll slowly release that. So you can bring your right leg out long, step it down to the floor. Bring your right hand down to the floor beside your left. Tuck your right toes under. So now we're spinning towards the back edge of the mat. And press down through the hands. As you inhale, you reach your left leg up and back. So we're coming into a down dog split. And then exhale, pull the left knee back into the chest, step your left foot forward. Bring the right knee down to the floor. Inhale to sweep the arms up into your low lunge. Again, settle the hips, draw in through the belly, grow tall through your ribs. Now we'll move back into that gate pose, so the lower right leg swinging back so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. And then stretching out the left leg, flexing the left foot, top of the hand, left hand to the top of your left leg, the right arm reaching alongside your right ear. So breathing into the space of the right side body. And then we're going to come up to center on the inhale. Bring the sole of that left foot to the floor. Take your right hand down, so your right hand is now back towards the front of your mat where you started. The left arm reaching alongside the left ear. So this kind of side plank variation. Breathing into the space of your left side body. And then we're going to pick up that left leg. So again, really gripping the floor with your right fingerprints to help you balance. Keep the belly strong. Keep the inner line of your left leg active. Bending your left knee, reaching with your left hand to see if you can find the top of your left foot, and then lengthening across the front body. Look for space in your left hip crease and the front of the left thigh. Maybe you can kind of push the left foot into the left hand. Good. We'll release that left leg, set the sole of the foot down, left hand down beside your right hand, spinning back towards the top of your mat. As you inhaling, reach your right leg up and back, down dog split. So that's the basic pattern. We're going to make it maybe a little bit more complicated or a little bit longer. We'll just add things to it. So we're stepping the right foot forward towards the hands. Bring the left knee down. As you inhale, the arms sweep up. Good. Exhaling into gate pose, so left lower leg swinging back behind you, right leg lengthens out, right hand to your right shin, left arm alongside the left ear. And inhale to come up to center. Exhale, rooting your right foot, setting your left hand down towards the back edge of the mat, right arm reaching alongside your right ear. Good. Picking up your right leg, bending the right knee, reaching with the right hand for the right foot. See if you can lengthen out through the front body. Good. Setting your right foot down to the mat, right hand to the mat beside your left, spinning towards the back of the mat. Inhale, the left leg reaching up and back. Here's where we're going to change it up a little bit. Bending your left knee. And inhale to lift your inner left thigh a little bit higher. And then as you exhale, see if you can step your left foot behind your right knee. So we're coming into a wild thing or flip the dog. Outer edge of your right foot rooted. Lift your hips up high. Send your left arm towards the back edge of your mat, reaching out long. Good. And then we're going to exhale to sit the hips down to the floor and cross your left foot to the outside of your right leg. Left hand behind you. Inhale to reach the right arm up. And then as you exhale, is coming into a seated twist, turning to the left. Nice big breath in here. And exhale to turn a little bit deeper. Good. We'll come back towards center. So now we're facing the front of the mat, hopefully, crossing the legs, rolling over your knees, stepping back to plank, and moving through your own vinyasa to reach downward dog. You could just go straight there or through whatever flow you like, following your own breathing. Left side, we'll inhale to reach the left leg up and back. Exhale the knee into the chest, step the left foot towards the hands. Right knee down to the mat. Inhale, the arms sweep up into the low lunge. Good. Exhaling into gate pose, so right foot swings back, lower leg parallel to the short edge of the mat. Left leg long, flex the foot. Reaching your right arm alongside your right ear, stretching out through your right side body. So you're reaching towards the front edge of your mat still. And then we'll come up to center, both arms tall, rooting your left foot, right hand down to the back edge of your mat, left arm alongside the left ear in the direction of the back edge of your mat. Picking up that left leg, bending the left knee, left hand reaches for the left foot, pushing the foot into the hand, lengthening out the front body. And then stepping the left foot down to the floor, left hand beside the right, spinning to the back edge of the mat. Inhale, the right leg reaches up and back. Exhale, bend the knee and open the hip. Inhale to lift the inner right thigh higher. Exhale, step your right foot behind your left knee and rolling onto the outer edge of your left foot. Lift your hips. Keep your left shoulder blade wide on your back as you roll your heart open. Right arm reaching long behind you. Good. And then we'll exhale to sit the hips to the floor. Crossing your right foot to the outside of your left leg. Inhaling to reach the left arm up. And then exhaling to turn to the right. So right hand behind you, lifting the ribs nice and tall here as you inhale. And then exhaling to turn a little bit more. And we'll turn back towards the front edge of the mat, cross the ankles, rolling over the knees, stepping back to plank. And again, completing your own path to downward dog. Whatever movements make sense for you, listening to your breathing to guide the way. So we'll just do that pattern exactly again. See if we can get the feel of it. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, knee into the chest. Step the right foot forward. Left knee to the mat. Inhale, the arms sweeping up, low lunge. Exhaling into gate pose. Lower left leg swings back. Right leg straightens out. Stretching long through your left side body towards the top edge of your mat. Inhaling, arms up, rooting the right foot, left hand comes down, long stretch back through your right arm to the back edge of your mat, lifting the right leg, bending the right knee, reach for the right foot, press the foot into the hand, open up the front body. Good. Stepping the right foot back to the mat, right hand down beside the left, spinning to the back edge of your mat. Inhale, the left leg reaching up and back. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale to lift the inner left thigh higher. Exhale, stepping left foot behind the right knee, rolling onto the outer edge of the right foot. Lift the hips, left arm reaching towards the back of the mat. And then exhale, sitting the hips down to the floor, stepping your left foot to the outside of your right leg. Left hand behind you, right arm reaching up as you inhale. Exhaling to turn into your twist. Again. And then turning back to the front of the mat, crossing the ankles, rolling over your knees, stepping back to plank, finding your own breath, your own path to take you to downward dog. Inhaling the left leg up and back. Exhale, knee into the chest, step the left foot forward, right knee down to the floor. Inhale, the arms sweeping up. And exhaling into gate pose, lower right leg swings back, straighten up the left leg, long stretch out through your right side body. Good, inhaling up, both arms reaching tall, left foot roots, right hand roots to the back of the mat, left arm reaching alongside your left ear. And picking up your left leg, bend the left knee, reach for your left foot. Inhaling into the front of the body, opening up that left hip crease. Releasing the left foot down, left hand spills back to the back edge of your mat, spinning around. Inhale, the right leg reaching up and back. Exhale, bend your right knee, open the hip. Inhale to lift the inner right thigh higher. Exhale to step your right foot behind your left knee. Inhale to lift the hips. Again, really keeping that left shoulder blade wide as you roll the heart open. Exhaling to sit your hips down to the floor. Right foot crossing to the outside of the left leg, right hand behind you. Inhale, the left arm reaching up, and exhaling to twist a little bit deeper here. Another full cycle of breath. Turning back to the front of the mat, crossing your ankles, rolling over your knees, stepping back to plank, and moving through your own flow again to find downward dog. We'll start again with the same pattern and maybe change up the ending a little bit. So inhaling to reach your right leg up and back. Exhale to pull the knee into the chest, step the right foot forward. Left knee down to the mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhaling into gate pose, right leg long, stretching out long through your left side body. Inhale to come up. Exhale, left hand to the back edge of your mat, right foot rooting, stretch long through your right side body, picking up that right leg, reach for your right foot, stretch out through the front of your body, and stepping the right foot back to the mat, and pour the right hand to the floor, spinning around. Inhale, the left leg, reaching up and back. Exhale, bending the knee, open the hip. Inhale to lift that inner left thigh higher. Exhale, step the left foot behind your right knee. Coming again into this kind of wild thing shape, lift your hips, reach your left arm long, roll the heart open. And from here, we're going to press really strongly down through your right hand. Reach your left hand back up towards the ceiling and see if you can stack your hips, so more of like a side plank shape. And now see if we can pick up the left knee really high, hug in through the belly, and as slowly as you're able, step that left foot towards the top of your mat, spinning onto the ball of your right foot as you do it. Fake it till you make it always is the rule. Good thing you're at home alone. Inhale to reach your arms up, coming into warrior one. And then we're going to exhale into warrior, so warrior one to the back of your mat. We're exhaling into warrior two to the back of your mat. Good. And then we're going to straighten the left leg, turn the left toes towards the right, so all 10 toes pointing towards the left edge of your mat. Bringing your hands to your hips, you're going to inhale to lift the center of the chest. Exhale to fold, bringing your hands towards the floor. Inhale to reach the ribs forward. Planting your left hand exactly under your face. I'm going to bring the right arm up towards the ceiling. Good. So just seeing if you can roll open to a nice wide twist here. The ribs reaching forward as you inhale, the hips reaching back. And then each time you exhale, belly drawing in, maybe you can roll that right shoulder open a little bit more. If this doesn't work for your shoulder, you can always place your right hand to your low back for a little bit more of an easeful variation. Just another full cycle of breath here. And then we'll exhale to bring that right hand back down. Inhale to come about halfway up. Exhale to bring the hands to the hips. Inhale to press back up to standing. And turning your right toes forward, bending your right knee, bring your arms out shoulder height. We'll inhale to reverse warrior, the right arm sweeping back. Exhaling to take your right forearm to your right thigh or your right hand down to the floor. Bring your left arm forward alongside your left ear. Moving into extended side angle pose here. Rolling your left side ribs open as you hug your right hip under the body. Nice full breath and space into your left side. Good. And then we'll exhale to drop both hands down towards the floor, framing your right foot, tucking your left toes under, stepping back to plank. Again, allow your breath to carry you to downward dog. Good. Left side, so we'll inhale to reach the left leg up and back. Exhale, knee into the chest, step the left foot towards your hands, right knee to the floor. Inhale, the arms coming up into your low lunge. Exhaling to turn towards gate pose, left leg long, stretching out through your right side body. Inhale, the arms reaching up, rooting your left foot, rooting your right hand, lengthening out through your left side body. Picking up that left leg, bending the left knee, reaching the left hand for the left foot, stretching out the front body. Stepping your left foot down to the floor, spill your left hand to the back edge of your mat. Inhale, three-legged dog. The right leg goes up and back. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale to lift your inner right thigh higher. Exhale to step your right foot down behind your left knee. Wild thing, lifting your hips up high, rolling the heart open, stretch long through your right hand. Good, and then we're going to pull back towards center, so more of a side plank shape. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, stack the hips. Keep really strongly pressing down through the left hand. Inhale to pick your right knee up as high as you're able. And then hugging the right knee in towards the chest as you step your right foot towards the back edge of your mat. Bringing your left foot flat to the floor. Inhale, the arms come up. Warrior one. Exhaling into warrior two, so still right foot towards the back edge of your mat. Straightening up that right leg, turn the right toes in towards the left, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale to fold, hands towards the floor. And inhale to come about halfway up, lengthening out the torso. And then as you exhale, we're spinning that left arm up towards the ceiling, opening into the twist. So right hand maybe exactly under your face. Hips reaching back, heart reaching forward, stretch out your center body. And then as you exhale, look for that hug in the core that doesn't shorten, but just supports the space in the torso so that you can keep turning your ribs away from your hips. And then we'll exhale the left hand back down. Inhale to stretch the ribs forward. Exhale the hands to the hips. Inhale to come up to standing. Exhale the left foot spinning to the top of the mat. Warrior two, arms out shoulder height. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, left forearm to your thigh or left hand to the floor, right arm alongside the right ear, breathing into the right side body. And then exhaling, both hands pour down towards the floor, stepping back to plank, your path to downward dog. Good, so we'll just move through that exact flow one more time, seeing if we can make it feel as fluid as possible. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, knee into the chest, stepping the right foot towards your hands. Left knee down, arms up on the inhale, low lunge. Exhaling into gate pose, right leg long, stretching out through your left side body. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left hand spills to the back edge of the mat, right arm reaching long. Picking up the right leg, right foot to your right hand, stretch out the front body. Step the right foot back to the mat, right hand to the floor, spinning around. Inhale, the left leg reaching up and back. Exhale, bend the left knee, open the hip, lift the inner left thigh higher. And next exhale, step the left foot behind your right knee, spinning into wild thing, lift the hips, left arm reaching long, opening up through the chest. Exhaling back to a side plank shape, so left arm reaches straight up, the belly hugs in. Inhale to pick up that left knee and carefully stepping it towards the top of the back edge of your mat. Right foot flat to the floor. Inhale, the arms reaching up. Exhaling into warrior two, left foot still towards the back of your mat. Straightening up your left leg, turn your left toes to the right. This time bringing your hands to your hips. We'll inhale to lift the center of the chest. Exhale to fold, bringing your hands to the floor. So just moving into a straightforward fold. Inhale, maybe look for a little bit more length in your torso. Exhale, scoop the belly in, folding a little bit deeper, hands flat to the floor. A few breaths here, lengthening up through the backs of the legs as you inhale. Drawing in through the low belly, keeping the hips lifted and reaching your heart down as you exhale. And then we'll inhale to come back up onto the fingertips. Exhale to bring the hands to the hips. Inhale to come up to standing, turning your right foot towards the front edge of the mat, arms out shoulder height, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, right arm sweeping back. Exhale, right forearm to your right thigh or right hand to the floor, left arm alongside the left ear. Hug your right hip under the body as you roll the chest open. And then dropping both hands down to frame your right foot, tuck your left toes under, stepping back to plank, moving with your own breath, your path to downward dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee into the chest, step the left foot forward, right knee down to the mat. Inhale, arms up into your low lunge. Exhaling, gate pose. Left leg long, reaching out through your right side body. Inhale, arms come up. Exhaling to a side plank variation towards the back of your mat, left arm long. Picking up that left leg, bend the knee, reach for the left foot. Stretching out through your left hip crease, the belly, the chest. Stepping the left foot back to the floor, left hand to the mat, spinning around, right leg reaching up and back, down dog split. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale to lift your inner right thigh. Exhale, step the right foot behind the left knee, lifting your hips, lifting your chest, rolling the heart open, long reach out through your right arm. And exhaling to pull back towards this side plank shape. Belly hugging in, pick up the right knee, hug the right knee towards your chest as you spin on that back foot, right foot steps to the back edge of your mat, left heel spins to the floor, arms reaching up, warrior one. And exhaling, warrior two, right toes still towards the back edge of your mat. Straightening your right leg, turn your right toes to the left. Hands behind the back, interlace your fingers. We'll inhale to lift the center of the chest, and then exhaling to fold. Letting the arms settle away from your back just to whatever edge feels available to you. And lifting the hips, hugging the belly in, reaching the heart down. As much as we're thinking about stretching out the legs, also see if you can stretch out your torso. And then pressing into the feet, inhale, come back up. Turning your left toes to the front edge of the mat, arms out shoulder height, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, forearm to thigh or left hand to the floor, right arm alongside your right ear. Big stretch out through the right side body. Again, see here if you can roll your heart open. And exhale, both hands spilling down to the floor, framing your left foot, step back to plank. And one more time, your own path, carrying you to downward dog. I'm just taking a steady few breaths here in downward dog. Maybe let's breathe together. We'll inhale through the nose. Exhale the side out through the mouth. Again, big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And one more time, breathing in and side out. And then dropping the knees down to the floor and cross your ankles, rolling back over your feet to come to seated. And then from here, just finding your way down onto your back. Let's move into a couple of back bends. Setting your feet hip width apart, about heels close into your hips, into your sits bones, arms by your sides. And then we'll press down through the feet, lifting the hips, just coming into a bridge. You can interlace your fingers underneath you if that's available, snuggling your shoulders in close together, pressing down through the feet, lifting the hips up high, tailbone reaching towards your knees, chest towards your chin. You can stretch your belly out nice and long. Just take a few breaths here into the front body. So noticing maybe that this feels relatively comfortable. We've done a good amount of warming up for it. There should be lots of space in the front body here already. Yeah. And then we'll exhale to release the hands, settle the hips back down to the floor. For a moment, you can just wiggle your feet out a little wider, and then let the knees soften in towards each other. coming into constructive rest, nice neutral space for your spine. We'll move into a second back bend, and you can choose if the wheel feels available to you. Maybe we can try that. If you feel that the bridge was enough, then maybe just going back into the bridge. So if we're going back into bridge, well, either way actually, stepping the feet hip width apart, and bringing the knees to align over the ankles. If we're going back into bridge, then just as we did, hands by your sides, interlacing the fingers as you lift the hips. If we're trying wheel, we're bringing the hands in, kind of tucking the fingers in towards the shoulders. Make sure your hands are wide enough apart. Keep your shoulder blades wide on your back. There's support for the shoulders, support for the weight of the body. Pressing down through your hands and your feet, seeing if we can lift the hips, and then also press down through the hands to lift the ribs, lift the head, and stretching out long through your whole front body. Wherever you've ended up, tailbone reaching towards your knees, just stretching away from your hips. Lots of length in your center body. And then to come out of wheel, bringing the chin towards the chest as we settle the head, and then the hips back down. To come out of bridge, separating your hands, letting the hips just settle heavily towards the floor. And then from here, we can bring the knees into the chest, wrapping your hands or your arms around your shins, rocking a little bit side to side. Yeah. And then we'll finish with happy baby. So you can reach your arms between your knees, take hold of the outer edges of your feet or your shins, lifting your heels away from your hips, but then also settling your hips towards the floor. So rather than rounding the back, see if you can find more of a flatter shape in your back, the hips as heavy as possible, so that we get some sensation in the hamstring. So all of that reaching back to grab for your foot maybe creates some tension in the hamstrings, and now is a chance to lengthen them out a little bit. And also folding into the hip creases, finding some different sensations, some different muscles. And you might like here to rock a little bit side to side, just to gently massage out your back. And then we'll fold the knees back into the chest and give yourself one last little hug in towards center, making yourself into a nice little package. And then letting go and finding your way into Shavasana, arms, legs out nice and long on the mat. And if this doesn't feel great for your low back, you might choose instead to bend the knees or support the knees so that they're a little bit bent. Settling into the most comfortable shape. Allowing yourself to be really heavy. And maybe this feels like a kind of ending, but it's not really. When we practice Shavasana or corpse pose, it's practicing of the moment where a certain cycle loops back into itself. So corpse pose might imply practicing for death, but we're also practicing for that moment of rebirth, of death transforming back into life. So rather than being an end point, it's more like maybe the closing of the circle. I'm just taking a few more soft moments here.
And slowly beginning to invite that fresh new life back in, first with full, sweet breath. And then little movements in your fingers and your toes, feeling your body come alive. And you can reach your arms alongside your ears, take a nice full stretch. Forward through your toes, back through your fingers. And then we'll exhale to bend the knees, rolling onto your right side, finding your way slowly back up to a comfortable seat. As we began, so we end the same shape that we started in, keeping your eyes closed for a moment here, continuing to watch the flow of your breath. We notice that this shape is familiar, that the shape is known, but also we notice what's changed through all of that turning and movement and exploration. And then bringing your hands together at the center of your chest, and thank yourself for your practice. Namaste.